Welcome back to CBS Sports HQ. We're bringing you more today on the NBA gambling scandal and the latest from the Miami Heat and head coach Erik Spoelstra commenting on the involvement of Terry Rozier. Rozier, a 10-year vet, was arrested in Orlando and is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Here is what Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra had to say about the situation.
You're left with no other choice. The league doesn't wait. It doesn't stop for you. We had a meeting yesterday to address things, and then today it was the task at hand. And if you've been around long enough in this league, you have to learn how to compartmentalize and focus on the most immediate thing, and that's preparing for an important game tonight. Obviously, we can't comment on the situation, but Terry is somebody who's very dear to all of us. He's had a real positive impact on our locker room and the staff and players alike, and that includes last year when he wasn't in the rotation oftentimes. And you know, so you send our thoughts and our care for him.
Take a look at the timeline of events and how this situation happened. Sportsbook flagged suspicious betting interest in Rozier on March 23rd, 2023. An unexpected surge of bets came in on Rozier's under points, rebounds, and assists. He played 10 minutes after leaving the game with a foot injury, and there were 30 wagers in 46 minutes from a professional bettor totaling $13,759. Now we're going to welcome in Miami Heat beat writer for the Sun Sentinel, Ira Winderman. Ira, we heard Erik Spoelstra's comments regarding their approach to handling this situation, but how do you see the situation developing, and what's the latest that you've learned from it?
Tricia, that's a very good way to put it. This is a developing story. This caught the NBA completely off guard, because if it didn't catch the NBA off guard, they would not have cleared Terry Rozier in their initial investigation and simply moved on as business as usual. Terry Rozier was available to play for the Miami Heat Wednesday night in their opener in Orlando. He was held out simply because he is not a rotation player. So this could have been even uglier, because you might have had an NBA player playing in a Wednesday night game and then Thursday morning at 6 a.m., basically 2 blocks from the arena, being arrested and taken to court. So the NBA is still playing catch up right here. This will very much be an evolving story. This very much will impact salary cap of the Miami Heat, roster construction of the Heat, and basically the NBA having to reset so many elements of how it handles these investigations going forward. Yes, it doesn't have the wiretap ability of the federal government. Yes, it can't induce testimony, but the NBA has to be more on top of it. Instead, it had a player ready to play on Wednesday, arrested on Thursday. Not a very good look.
Not a good look at all. All right, Ira, this Heat team has dealt with some drama over the past year. Last year, Jimmy Butler's trade request was, of course, the main storyline following them, as we know. Now, this year, with Rozier, seems to be hanging over this team as the season starts. How does Erik Spoelstra keep this team focused with a whole season ahead of them?
You know, Tricia, you make a really good point there, because the Heat are used to this. A year ago at this time, Jimmy Butler was losing his joy. Well, Jimmy Butler is now joyful in Golden State and the way he's playing and the way they're playing. But you know what? The upshot of that was the Heat learned how to deal with adversity and how to move forward. So you talk to the players today, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Bam Adebayo, and it's oddly a case of been there, seen it, done it. Miami Heat controversy hand in hand. Here we go again. Last year, they wound up going from the play-in, making the first round of the playoffs. They've been through this before. And let's be honest, if there's a coach in the NBA who can guide a team through this, it's Erik Spoelstra. From the Big Three to going back to the lottery to last season's 10th place finish, there's not a lot he hasn't seen. So they probably have the right man for the right job, and probably just are hoping no more bombshells anytime soon.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If there is a head coach to lead them through this, it would be a veteran head coach like Erik Spoelstra. All right, next thing for you. There are reports that the NBA knew that there was suspicious activity regarding Rozier before the Heat acquired him via trade. What do you think is next for the NBA's handling of this situation? I know you said it was evolving, but how could it affect the Heat moving forward?
There's huge factors. Right now, all we know, like Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier is on paid leave. The question is, does he become suspended? Then the Heat get half of his salary back. Is he kicked out of the league? Then the Heat get all of his salary back. All of a sudden, they'd have like $16 million under the luxury tax to spend on players. They're going to have to add 2 players to redo their roster. But here, Trish, is a really compelling and interesting factor. The Heat still owe the Charlotte Hornets a first-round pick from that January 2024 trade that also sent Kyle Lowry to the Hornets. Well, it might be a case of caveat emptor, or it might be a case of, hey, we got something we didn't know about. The league didn't know about. Did Charlotte know about it? So I think there's a chance, which has never happened before, of the Heat getting their pick back or a compensatory pick back from the pick still due to Charlotte for a player who very well, by the time that pick is exercised, will be permanently barred from the league. So again, so much of an evolving story. Not this hour, not today, not this week, but the NBA has a lot to dig out as Terry Rozier digs in, honestly, for what might be the fight of his life.
Absolutely. An evolving situation with so many layers, so many things we still don't know. But I think what sums it up maybe is a headache for everybody involved. Ira, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at the Heat schedule. Their next 8 games. Tonight they're in Memphis, then they face the Knicks and the Hornets. Of course, as Ira mentioned, they have a lot on their plate right now to deal with off of the court, but Eric Spoelstra will look to keep their heads on the court and continue the season with this upcoming schedule.